The hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable begins long before the profits ever appear, and it starts with a quiet realization that something inside you is breaking down. Not the charts, not the strategy, not the market, but you. The moment you realize that knowledge alone is not enough is the moment this hidden stage quietly opens, and most traders don't even know they've stepped into it. Every trader imagines a breakthrough as a single moment, a sharp turn where confusion suddenly becomes clarity and losses transform into consistency. You picture yourself finally understanding the market, finally executing without hesitation, finally feeling confident. But what actually happens is far more uncomfortable. Before that clarity ever arrives, there is a long stretch of silence where nothing seems to improve, where effort feels unrewarded, and where the market seems to expose you rather than teach you. This is the hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable, and it is where most people give up because it doesn't look like progress. In the beginning, trading feels exciting and full of possibility. You learn patterns, setups, indicators, risk rules, and you feel smarter with every chart you study. You imagine a future where this skill gives you freedom, control, and confidence. But the moment you place real money on the line, something changes. Your heart beats faster. Every candle feels personal. A small pullback feels like danger. A fast move feels like opportunity slipping away. You start reacting instead of executing, and suddenly the knowledge you worked so hard to gain feels useless. This confusion is not random. It is the doorway to the hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable. This stage is not about learning more information. It is about unlearning behaviors that feel natural but are destructive. Fear shows up first, quietly convincing you to exit early, to avoid risk, to protect yourself from pain. Then greed follows, whispering that this trade could be the one, that maybe you should increase size, that maybe rules can wait just this once. FOMO pulls you into trades you never planned to take, while revenge trading pushes you to act after a loss just to feel in control again. Overtrading fills the silence when patience feels unbearable. All of this happens while you still believe the problem is your strategy. The hardest part of this hidden stage is that it feels like failure. You know what to do, but you can't do it consistently. You see clean setups, but you hesitate. You enter good trades and exit too early. You take bad trades and hold them too long. You promise yourself discipline, then break that promise under pressure. This gap between knowledge and execution creates deep self-doubt. You start wondering if you are built for this, if others have something you don't, if maybe you should start over with a new system. But this stage is not a sign that trading isn't for you. It is a sign that trading is finally working on you. The market has a way of revealing who you are under pressure. It doesn't care about your goals, your effort, or your intentions. It simply responds to your actions. In the hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable, the market becomes a mirror. It shows you impatience when you rush entries. It shows you fear when you cut winners early. It shows you ego when you refuse to accept a loss. And it shows you insecurity when you constantly look for confirmation from others. None of this is meant to punish you. It is meant to prepare you. Most traders misunderstand this stage because progress does not show up on the balance. You can follow your plan perfectly and still lose. You can stay disciplined and watch price move without you. Meanwhile, someone else breaks every rule and gets lucky. This is where faith is tested. When logic and results don't line up, your mind looks for escape. You tell yourself the market is unfair, that your strategy is broken, that you are wasting time. But this confusion is part of the design. The hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable is not about money. It is about emotional control in an uncertain environment. Trading rewards patience, but patience is painful to build. It requires sitting with discomfort, resisting impulses, and accepting outcomes you cannot control. Every time you avoid revenge trading, you are training restraint. Every time you accept a loss without changing your plan, you are building resilience. Every time you stay out of the market when there is no setup, you are strengthening discipline. These victories feel small and invisible, but they are reshaping you from the inside. At some point in this stage, you stop asking when you will start winning and start asking why you react the way you do. You notice patterns in your behavior that repeat just like patterns on the chart. You realize that overtrading often comes from boredom or the need to feel productive. You see that FOMO appears when you tie your self-worth to being in a trade. You recognize that revenge trading is not about money, but about emotional relief. This awareness is uncomfortable, but it is the foundation of growth. The hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable forces you to slow down. You cannot rush discipline. You cannot force emotional control. You have to build it through repetition and failure. This is why trading feels so personal. Every weakness you avoid in life shows up here. The need for control, the fear of missing out, the desire to be right, the impatience for results. The market presses on these buttons relentlessly until you either react or evolve. Gradually, something shifts. Not in your account, but in your mind. You start caring less about being right and more about being consistent. You stop trying to control outcomes and focus on controlling actions. You begin to understand that you do not control whether a trade wins or loses, but you do control whether you follow your rules. This shift changes how losses feel. A loss taken with discipline becomes acceptable. A win taken by breaking rules starts to feel uncomfortable. This reversal is a powerful sign that the hidden stage is doing its work. There is a quiet moment that arrives during this phase. You won't notice it at first because it doesn't feel dramatic. One day you take a trade, manage it according to plan, and close it without emotional noise. Win or lose, you move on. There is no rush to re-enter, no urge to prove anything. This calm is not confidence in the market. It is trust in yourself. It is the first glimpse of what lies beyond the hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable. As this calm grows, overtrading begins to fade. You no longer feel the need to be in the market constantly. You understand that waiting is part of the job. You realize that missing a trade is better than forcing one. The market starts to feel less threatening and more neutral. You stop seeing every candle as a signal and start seeing the bigger picture. This is not because the market changed. It is because you did. Ego becomes the next challenge. Just when you feel improvement, a voice inside you suggests that you can bend the rules, that you can handle more risk, that you deserve a bigger win. This voice is subtle and dangerous. The hidden stage teaches you to recognize it without obeying it. You learn that discipline is not restriction, but protection. You learn that surrendering to your system is not weakness, but strength. You let go of the need to be right and embrace the need to be consistent. Uncertainty, once terrifying, starts to feel normal. You stop needing to know what happens next. You only need to know what you will do if it happens. This acceptance removes much of the stress from trading. You stop predicting and start preparing. You stop forcing and start responding. Trading becomes simpler, not easier, but clearer. The emotional roller coaster slows down because you are no longer fighting reality. Eventually, you notice how trading begins to shape you outside the charts. You become more patient in daily life. You react less emotionally to stress. You think before acting. The discipline you build in trading spills into relationships, work, and decisions. This is why the hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable is so powerful. It is not just building a trader. It is reshaping a person. Your relationship with money changes too. You stop chasing it and start respecting it. Risk management becomes natural, not forced. You think in terms of longevity instead of quick wins. You understand that staying in the game matters more than any single trade. You realize that most blown accounts are not caused by bad strategies, but by emotional decisions made under pressure. Patience becomes your edge. You stop needing many trades. You only want good ones. You wait for confirmation instead of guessing. You remain calm when others panic. You no longer chase the market. You let it come to you. This calm presence creates consistency because it keeps you aligned with your plan. Success is redefined. A good day is not measured by profit, but by discipline. A good week is one where rules were followed. A good month is one where emotions did not control decisions. This shift gives you a sense of control that money alone cannot provide. You feel grounded, focused, and steady. Fear and greed do not disappear. They become familiar signals instead of commands. You notice them arise and choose how to respond. This is emotional intelligence, the highest skill in trading. Mastery is not the absence of emotion, but the ability to act wisely despite it. When you look at profitable traders, their calm makes sense now. It is not that they feel less. It is that they obey their emotions less. They have been through the hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable, and it shaped them quietly and thoroughly. They learned that trading rewards discipline and punishes impulsiveness every single time. This hidden stage is invisible to outsiders. From the outside, it looks like struggle, stagnation, or failure. But inside, something powerful is forming. The chaos is being replaced by clarity. Reaction is being replaced by execution. The profits come later, as a byproduct of this transformation. Once you reach the end of this stage, you realize something profound. The market never changed. The setups are the same. The charts look familiar. But your reaction is completely different. You no longer fight uncertainty. You work with it. You no longer trade to escape emotions. You trade from a place of peace. The hidden stage before every trader becomes profitable is not glamorous, fast, or easy. It is long, uncomfortable, and often lonely. But it is necessary. It is the winter before growth, the pressure that shapes discipline, the silence that builds strength. You cannot skip it. You can only endure it. And if you do, you emerge as someone who can handle uncertainty, control emotions, and act with clarity even when nothing feels certain. That is what true profitability really begins with.